Hey guys, Clinton Sistrunk, Colorado Mortgage Team. All right, today I've got Sam Weiss with We Inspect Homes Colorado with me. Now, Sam is CPI certified and he's got his Internaki certification, which is an international certification. Sam, today we'd like to find out what's the top 5 things that somebody should ask a home inspector that they're thinking about using when they're comparing, home inspector to home inspector. You're interviewing a few different people. What's some important questions they can ask?
That's a great question. So generally, when you're approaching a home inspector, one of the first things you want to ask is, are you certified? Because there are a lot of people running around out there performing home inspections and they're not being held to any kind of standard.
Hmm.
There are a couple of different ways to get certified. One of them is Internachi, and that's one of the most important things. If you're going to spend the money, you might as well get what you're paying for.
That sounds really dangerous. There's people running around without a certification, but thankfully you've got all those certifications for us.
I mean, it's actually a hazard, like to have somebody that doesn't have the certifications inspect your house because they can give you a false sense of security about something that could be disastrous later on down the line.
Absolutely. What's another good thing that somebody can ask you?
Additional services. What kind of additional services does the home inspector provide? Because before you hire a home inspector, you want to make sure he can provide you with all the services you actually need. So this will include things like thermal imaging, radon testing, which is bigger in some states than others, and sewer scopes.
Oh, sewer scopes are definitely an important one here in Colorado. We all know that. Are there any other great questions that somebody can ask a prospective home inspector?
Of course. So generally, when you're talking to a home inspector, you want to make sure they have a background kind of in a related field, so they actually have the experience to inspect things properly. So you want to ask like, hey, what did you do before you were a home inspector? What skill set led you to believe that you would be a good home inspector? If they say accountant, they might not have the background required to do a good home inspection.
Yeah, we're talking about somebody that's going to be in your new home, looking at every aspect of it, evaluating it for you, right? So it doesn't get really much more intimate than that when it comes to real estate. Knowing who you're working with and making sure that there's a good connection there and that they are qualified and certified, I would think is highly important to people. Are there some other key things that people should ask about home inspections or home inspectors when they're evaluating?
Of course. So one good question to ask is, should I be present during the home inspection? And the answer to that is at least for part of it. You generally want to show up in the last like 30 minutes to an hour. That way the inspector is able to go through the house uninterrupted and really do their job to their full potential with full focus. But then at the end, any good inspector will give you an overview of everything they found about your house, kind of give you some advice on maybe what to do or not to do, what's a big problem, what's not. And you definitely want to be present for that. You don't want to miss out on that. Even though you're going to get the report later, it's always good to be in person with the inspector, kind of figuring out what you do and don't need to do to fix up that house before you buy it.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely key information. Yeah, you should be present at the home inspection so that you can be available to get all that key information from your inspector. How about how long should they expect a home inspection to take?
Yeah, that's another good question. How long will it take for the home inspection to occur? And generally, with a house of about 3,000 square feet, it'll take about 3 hours. If you're adding on a sewer scope or something like that, it can be 30 minutes to an hour. It really just depends on how long the sewer line is out to the main, because it can get kind of hard pushing that hose through a long distance.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for sharing some of this information with us. And hopefully that gives you guys some good tools and resources when you're out there talking to various home inspectors to make sure that you're hiring the right one for your family. Sam, what's a great way for people to connect with you?
So the best way to contact me or connect with me is through my website, We Inspect Homes Colorado. There I outline all the goods and services I offer in detail, and I also have contact information, so you can give me a call any day of the week. I try to be as open as I can with my scheduling, and I'll fit you in when you need the home inspection done.
Fantastic. Sam, thank you so much. You guys can find all of Sam's information in below. Feel free to reach out to him and use him as a resource. Sam, thank you so much.
Thank you.